Hi, welcome back. Now this month's 4-way project is multifaceted plate or a ball. Now this turned out to be actually quite interesting for me, as once again I could play around with colors a little bit, and you'll see what I mean by that. And please, after watching this video, check out Sam, Mike and Richard's version. There will be links down below to their version of this project, so stay tuned and let's dive right in. So what I have here is maple blank. It's let's see, diameter 240 mil diameter, and I've cut this a while back for something, not sure what. Still have a little bark here, and now the easiest shape from the circle, I guess, would be hexagon. So what I have here is dividers, and I have the center line here, and that's already set to this diameter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to align first of all with the grain here, try to get first point, and I'm going to mark it, stab it a little bit and just mark it here, and then just walk 6 times around. Okay, so I have equal distances around, and I'll just now connect the dots here. Just extend it a little bit, and sharper pencil would be nicer. So I'll just extend the lines a little bit further out to the marked diameter. This one is okay, and the rest of it are okay. So now just connect the dots. So I'll place the pencil in one of the dots, and now just aim for the other one and mark it. Again, place the pencil line in that marked hole, and it doesn't matter if it's just ever so slightly off. It's handmade item, so it's not CNC made. And last one. There we go, so that's nice hexagon. So I'll just cut that off on the bandsaw, and we'll set off turning. And I have to use some of the paint. I haven't used paint in a while now in the video, so that's due on this video. So I've cut the shape on the bandsaw, and I drilled a hole for the screw chuck. So this will go on, and we can start turning. And now the bottom is fairly straightforward. I need a recess to expand, but on the top I want to make some sort of a shape as well and put a little bit of color. So tools are ready, and we can set off. So start slow and increase speed gradually. So this is running at 1300 RPM. So I'll just screw up first the bottom. This is ball gouge. And I'll start to get a little bit of shape here. And for the bottom I think I'll go with relatively simple shape, so nothing crazy. And I think this blank is slightly thicker than I need. We'll see. So I'm using wing of the gouge to get some undercut shape here. and I'm placing my hand on the tool rest and squeezing the hand and tool in a way that I want. So this is just rough cut, and I'm thinking what I want here. Okay, I think wider base should be okay, and let's try nice shear cut. Now here where we have corners, just go slowly. Let's see the shape. So the cut is really nice, so you don't have to sand this. And I think proportionally the base is quite good size. I'm happy with that. Maybe a little bit more undercut. Let's try that. Again, slowly. Where are the corners, the wings? Okay, so it's mostly perfect cut except here at the very edges, so I'll go one more time. Okay, that should be much better, and the shape here, the curve looks better. A little burnish mark here, but that will sand away. So now I can scrape the bottom, raise the rest a little bit, shear scraper, raise the rest a little bit more. So in preparation for making a recess here, I want to undercut this a little bit. And when you have a nice burr on a scraper, it just whistles as you scrape. So, and you'll see the surface here. Really nice surface, and it's slightly undercut, around 2 mil. So that should be okay. And now the biggest diameter, outside diameter of my chuck is 100 mil. So I'll go just ever so slightly over that, mark it. And I'll use square end scraper, and I'll just readjust the camera. So square end scraper, this is 12 mil wide, and you want first a left corner in, and then you roll the scraper to the right, and then back to the left. I'm bumping the camera a little bit. Okay, so that's around 2 mil deep. Small skew to undercut the dovetail. And I do this by eye, it doesn't have to be exact negative of your jaws. And as always, you want to do something with this waist here, and maybe even here, so you sort of disguise the recess here on the inside. So in this case, what I'll do is probably several like beads or something like that. Let's go first here with bigger beads. And that's one mistake. I have the rest way too high, and I placed the gouge before on the wood than I did on the tool rest, and I opened it up the wrong way and it caught the unsupported edge and it drifted away, much like with the skew. So a little repair work. So I'll just grab smaller spindle gouge. Okay, just to see if I remove the spiral mark on the left here, and I did, so I can now continue on. Make sure you close the gouge. A light scrape just to reduce the crown. Okay, what's next? What can I do here? So let's do a little cove. Square and scraper again, just to get this shoulder nice and clean, and I don't know, maybe one more bead here. Grab the skew and just get this a little nice sharp corner, and I always spend maybe more time than others on making the bottom nice and pretty, because a lot of customers watch that, so you want to make sure that that's nice and clean. Again, square and scraper, and I'll get a little dome on the inside. There we go. So spindle gouge and just make a little chamfer here, and slight detail here. Shear scraper. With the inertia sander, I'll just cover the wide areas. I won't be able to do much here where the details are. I think that should be now good. And it is, so no sanding marks, so that's quite lovely. Okay, so you can see that's looking quite good, and I'll use white oil from Steiner to oil it after everything is done, so it stays this kind of bright white color. I see it a little bit better, and the shape. So the step jaws are the biggest outside diameter that I have, and that will fit nicely in the recess, and just a little bit of expansion, and you don't need a lot of force to expand. That's running nice and true. And now let's do the hollowing. So the first step is I'll drill a depth hole so I know at least where to stop. Now this will be a little bit jerky on the inside. There we go. So that's once you get rid of the threads. Now smaller size drill bit, it won't snag like that. So I can go up to this mark and have enough timber on the bottom. So just throw up the top. And let's hollow a little bit. Now I'm going to leave some of the bulk inside, and now I can decide on thickness of the wings here. So the thickness of the wings should be roughly something like this. Although I think what I'll end up is I'm thinking about when I do the shape on the outside, on here on the top, that will transfer here. And let me just try something before I mark. I have still enough timber here left, so what I'll do, I'll use a ball gouge just to get a little crown here. I'm curious to see what shape will end up at the wings here. Okay, it's a little bit too thick here, and if I go thinner, let's say, I think that should be okay. Now I'm quite interested to see if the top of these wings are at the same plane. So let's see that. This one's okay, this one's okay, and this one relatively close. This one is a little bit off. This one's right on, and this one is right on. So okay, what I'll end up probably is a little oval like this. I think that should be quite interesting shape on the outside as well. So first of all, let's reduce some of the height here first. Easiest way to do that is using a wing of the gouge and go straight in to a spindle. That will do peeling cut, and you get this lovely shaving. Okay, and in terms of width of the rim, I think I'll go with much wider rim than usual, perhaps somewhere around here. And I would like a little band of color around here somewhere, or just to paint the ovals that will end up here on the sides. Not sure yet, so let's first make the oval here. Okay, almost there. Every wing looks quite the same, which is good. And I have to account for that I have to sand these as well a little bit, so that will reduce some of the shape. I'm lost for words today. I think what I'll do next is actually sand these areas, and that way once I get this one done, this is already finished and it won't disturb anymore. Okay, so the sanding is done. The wings here, the edges looks really lovely. So now I can finish the profile here, and I think what I'll do is just taper this a little bit more in. It's way too bulky in this area. Use the wing of the gouge to shear scrape, and now I can increase the speed up to 1600 RPM. Okay, getting nice close to points. Now a little chip out here, which is quite annoying. Not sure why it chipped out here, shouldn't. And I still want to get this a little bit more in. Okay, I think that's a little better. I'm stopping the lathe a little bit more often than I usually would, because I want to see how the shape is going, since this is not your regular round plate. So shear scraper. Get a little better shape. Nice shavings. More rest here for my hand. Okay, that looks way better. Now I can remove this waste here. That's fun way of removing waste. So So I think the wings and the rim is done. Just see that before I continue on. Yeah, that will sand out nicely, and here these ovals, I'm probably going to paint them as well. Now I do want, or did want, some sort of a groove or something like this close to this edge, but not sure how this will show. Just want to see if there is an equal distance from each wing, and this one is a little bit off, but I think that probably not going to matter that much. So as I watch this, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do here. I want to do something, since it's already this kind of busy shape, I want to make it even more involved. So kind of like this kind of 1/3 shape here, so I could probably make a little V here and here, or slight bead or something, and this can be a little cove that I can then paint. So small spindle gouge. Now this will have to be deeper groove. So the next idea is, yeah, I'm going to leave it as it is. So the next idea is just lightly sand the inside. There is a little frail or fiber of wood, and just roughly tape the outside here, and I'm going to tape probably so I can paint the hexagonal or the ovals here, and yeah, I think that's the next step, and paint, of course. So I've done the masking, and I've used the red one is electrical tape. I like that for details because it's pliable and stretchy. Now I did put here as well because I thought I might spray, but I found this Turquoise, I think it's called that way, acrylic paint, which is quite durable, and so I'm going to paint these ovals and also this groove here. Now here, if I get a little paint on the outside, doesn't matter because I still have to scrape this and sand, but I don't want to get any color here on the bottom. So that's the next step. I'm just going to apply the paint, and I'm going to tune you in back once the paint is dry. Alright, so it's next day, so this had time to dry, although some of the spots actually feel a little bit like tacky, but we'll see. So I'll just unpack this. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is just clean up the paint around the edges, so I get a nice clean surface, so I can see a little bit better what I want to do. If I want to sort of frame the color here in the groove, or not sure what I'm going to do, but let's see. And on this side, still a little bit of paint left, so let's clean that up. think that should be it. Okay, so that's nice clean groove without any chip out, which is great. Here at the wings I have to sand this, which is to be expected, so that's all good. Let's see what that does. So I'll use a skew and get a little shoulder, maybe 1 mil wide on each side. Something like this. And small spindle gouge. Just to see if I can go a little bit deeper. I think I can, just a little bit more. Okay, that's the right side done, and let's do this one. That was so dumb mistake. Yeah, nice spiral. Second one on this piece. Luckily, by the look of it, I didn't ruin the... yeah, that's okay. I didn't ruin the paint on the outside, so... and I didn't ruin the groove or the bead to the right, so that's good. Another design opportunity. So now the beads are exposed or above the surface. Before they were a little bit in. Do the same with this one. And I'll sharpen the spindle gouge so it doesn't want to skate over. So I just sharpened the spindle gouge so I can get this a little bit better. So that's looking quite good. So I'm just brushing the sides using a spindle gouge as a shear scraper. Much safer way of shaping the bead at this stage. Just see how that looks. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. A little bit of sanding. That should be it. A little frail fibers of the wood here. So I have to deal now with this portion. You can see here a little ridge. Now as I'm looking this, I don't like the bead on this side at all, so I'm just going to remove it. I don't like the bead on this side as well, to be honest, so probably both beads will be gone. Now the burr has gone from the scraper, so I'll put the fresh one. So this is freshly honed scraper. Okay, that's a little bit more refined, let's say. It's not that deep of a groove, and yeah, I think it looks a little bit more cleaner or nicer. Yeah, I'm going to leave it as it is, and now I want to hollow this out. This can be all sanded without any trouble. So that's the bottom of the pole, and probably maybe somewhere around here. So we'll make this distance here, same on this side, and from that point I can start to hollow, and this will be nice size, let's say for a soup or a little deeper dish. Now at this point I'm going to stop and just double check the thickness. It feels a little bit too thick. Just double check if I can. So the deepest part of the recess is where the chuck goes, and here I have plenty of wood. So here is 12 mil, and at the bottom I can't really check. Alright, okay. Okay, so that's 8 mil here, or slightly less than that. So I still have a little bit more shaping to do here to get a little better curve. So bow gouge, okay, that's the side here done. So now just shape the rest here. Raise the rest up a little bit. A little hump in this area here. Okay, that feels quite good. Now I did put a little groove here by accident, so what I'll do is just support the back of the plate and just shear scrape the corner here, nice and gently, and that should take care of that little groove. And it's nice and clean. Okay, I'm happy with that. 180 grit. With the pad. major part of sanding is done. Now all that it's left is just soften a little bit of these edges, because these are sharp. They are nice and crisp, but still they are a little bit too sharp for my liking. So just one or two strokes with a 360 grit, just ever so lightly soften them. Here it is. So turned out really nice, and you can see this is just first coat of white oil. After that I'll put the regular oil on, and this may just one shade be slightly darker, but not by much. And you can see the bottom really nicely cut, shaped. You always want to do something interesting with the bottom of your plates or bowl, especially when you have a design opportunity here at this section. And I really like these oval paint areas here that actually meet at a very fine point at each end, and pretty much the same on each corner. So nice little hexagon plate, and I'm really glad that I reduced the height of the depth out of the groove here, and that I removed those little two grooves, beads on each side. So this way it looks a little less busy, with already quite a busy piece, and a little bit more cleaner look. So really nice how this turned out. So please don't forget to watch Sam, Mike and Richard's version as well. You already know the links are down below in the video description. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.